Hello, this is Charlene Riley, and today is Thursday, August 24th, 2017, at 7:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, I'm ready to do some trading and record my trading session. The first thing I want to do is look at my FX book and check out the economic calendar. We see that the Sydney market is currently open right now and that Tokyo opens in 15 minutes. Right now, the only high impact report coming up is the U.S. Jackson Hole Symposium report. That's a high impact, but it doesn't have any numbers to go with it. And looking at what happened throughout the day, there were several low and medium impact Japan reports, and there's a low impact Japan report coming out. So nothing really going on in the last hour or so. So now I want to check out. First thing I want to check out is the next thing I want to check out is how much I can trade with today. So my current account balance is $996.56. I created this little spreadsheet so that I could quickly determine my daily risk threshold and the maximum number of pips per day and per trade. My daily risk threshold is 2%. So with my current account balance, that's a total of $19.93 that I could $19.93 that I could risk today. And that's a maximum number of pips of 199 pips on a 10-cent lot size or 100 pips on a 20-cent lot size. My maximum risk per trade is 1/2 of 1%, so that will be $4.98, and that translates to 50 cents per pip. Well, 50 pips per trade on a 10-cent lot size, or 25 cents per pip on a 20-cent lot size. So now that I know what I can trade with, I am ready to go to the markets. And again, the Sydney market is open right now, and the Tokyo will be opening in about 15 minutes. So the pairs that I use during this time period, during these markets, are the Australian dollar JPY, the Australian New Zealand, and the British pound JPY. And I am also trying out the Euro JPY to determine whether or not I'm going to use that in my trading plan. So the first thing I want to, now that I'm here in the markets, I want to check and make sure that my Fibonacci lines are up to date. So I'm going to start with the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, since the Sydney market is open. And I see that my fib lines are up to date. Looking at, ready to do my multi-frame analysis, and I see that Overall, on the daily chart, the market is in an uptrend. I previously plotted the market low, and I plotted the market high, and it has since gone up a little higher, but I've already plotted a support and resistance line up here. So I know that the overall market trend for the last week or so has been an uptrend. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, I see again that the market has been in an uptrend on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, but that is currently in consolidation. Now, and I have the support and resistance lines that I plotted are still good, and the Fibonacci lines are also still good. Next, I'll look at my 1-hour chart, and I still see the overall uptrend, although it does seem like a bit of consolidation. The market's been fluctuating within a range of about 30 pips, 30 to 40 pips. So we're okay there. And now I'm looking at my 15-minute chart, and I see that the overall trend is an uptrend, but there's been a downtrend and now some market uncertainty. I'm going to trade on the 15-minute chart. The wording that was here, am I recording? Okay, yeah, I am recording. Okay, so the wording that's here on the chart is from previous trades and trade setups. So I'll just update that, and I'll note that the, let's see. Note that the major trend is an uptrend, and the current trend is a downtrend. Now, my primary strategy is breakthroughs of support and resistance lines. I will always, my primary strategy is to look for breakthroughs of support and resistance according to the trends or reversals of trends. And I primarily use the stochastic oscillator to confirm the trend or reversal of the trend. And I've also used market volume or candlesticks and candlestick patterns as confirmation as well. Basically, for this Australian New Zealand 15-minute chart, for my trade setups, I will be looking for breakthroughs of support or resistance. Since we are here at the 1.09627 line, I will be looking for a confirmed break above this line, which will be a reversal to an uptrend. And if we have that confirmed break, then I would enter into a buy. Or if we have a confirmed break below this same line, I would be looking to get into a sell. Now notice that there's a large gap between the next lines of support and resistance from 62 to 72. That's only 10 pips, so that's okay. And then, but from 62 down to 46, that's 16 pips. So I do see a line of support and resistance right about here. So I'm going to add another line here. And now we are approaching the next 15-minute period. So I probably wait until the close of this current candlestick before I actually entered into a buy or a sell. In the meantime, I'm going to look at my Australian JPY, and it looks like the market here is in consolidation, but I will do my multi-frame analysis, starting with the daily, and I see a overall downtrend, but that for today the market appears to be in consolidation. My Fibonacci, I've previously plotted the highs and the lows and the range for the last week or so. So now looking at the 4-hour chart, I see that the market has been in an uptrend over the past day. And then I look at the 1-hour chart, and I see that overall there's an uptrend, but currently the bears are trying to take over. And now going to my 15-minute chart, which is where I would execute trades, and I see that again there's the overall uptrend, but right now there's consolidation. So I'm not ready, I wouldn't be ready to make a trade here, but if I did, the setups that I would be looking for is a breakthrough of the 86460 line, and that would make me want to enter into a sell, or a break above the 86552 line that would make me enter into a buy. So now let me go back to my Australian New Zealand, since we are on in the Sydney market right now. And like I said, we've got about 2 minutes before the next 15-minute period starts, and when the Tokyo market opens. So I would definitely wait for the close of the current candle before I would even think about entering into a trade. Now looking at my Euro JPY, the first thing I want to do is this. The first thing I want to do is set it up for my Girls Going Forex template. Now the next thing will be my multi-frame analysis. And I see that there'd been an uptrend overall, but then we've had a couple of, a little bit of a downtrend and some consolidation on the daily chart. So the first thing I want to do is plot the high I keep my lines organized so that my daily lines are orange, 4-hour lines are blue, the 1-hour lines are magenta, and my 15-minute lines are purple. So I plot the high, plotting the low, and now plot where the market has been for the range for where the market has been for the last week or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, next we go to the 4-hour chart, and I see a definite line of support and resistance here. So let's plot that. And it looks like a good line here as well. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 8. Okay, that's a good line there as well. So now, looking at the 1-hour chart, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's a good line there. And the market is getting close to a high. So now I go to my 15-minute chart, and I see the overall uptrend, but the current trend is a downtrend. Let's peek back over here. So ready to draw my Fibonacci lines on this Euro JPY 15-minute chart. So oh my, that didn't work out too good. Let's try again. Okay, so okay, so for my trade setup, I'm going to be looking for a break. Let me put in my stochastic. So for my trade setup, I'm looking for a break below this 129.162 to enter into a sell, or a break above the 129.234 to enter into a buy. Now I'm going to, my risk reward ratio is 1-to-1, and I'm actually going to update my pip value. I'm going to use a 20 cents per pip. Now my primary strat, let me mark my trends. Now as I mentioned before, my primary strategy is breakthrough of support and resistance lines. I use the Fibonacci and also support and resistance lines that I plotted during my multi-frame analysis. And then for confirmation, I primarily use the stochastic to confirm a trend or a reversal of a trend. But then I would also use candlesticks and candlestick patterns as well as market volume. So in my the trade setups that I'm looking for are Since there's a downtrend, if the trend continues, I'd be looking for a break below the 129.162 or a reversal and a breakthrough at the 129.234. So those are the trade setups. I see that the stochastic is about to cross over, which would indicate a reversal is afoot. So we shall see, and it's in the oversold region because the stochastic is below 20. So I would be looking for that. So now I'm going to peek back at my Australia and New Zealand, and I see we've already entered into a new 15-minute period. The major trend is the uptrend, and the current trend is the downtrend. But we're having a little consolidation or market uncertainty right now. So but I'm seeing that we're about to enter into an uptrend, possibly. So we'll wait to see what's going to happen there. Now, flipping over to my Australian dollar JPY, the overall trend, the major trend is an uptrend. And the current trend, I'm going to call that consolidation. And I'm seeing a rise. The candlesticks are rising. So I see the breakthrough, but I don't yet have confirmation. The stochastic is only at 28, and I would need to see the stochastic go higher, above 50, before in order to confirm the reversal to an uptrend. Downtrend. Uptrend for the last 24 hours. Major trend is uptrend. Okay. So it looks like it wants to reverse back to the uptrend. Now in the British pound JPY, my fib lines are still good. And I see for the daily, overall the market had been in a downtrend, but it looks like it wants to try to reverse into an uptrend. Looking at the 4-hour chart, I can see the overall major trend as a downtrend. And looking at the 1-hour chart, a lot of choppiness, up and down and up, and now consolidation. So, and looking at the 15-minute chart, which is where I execute my trades, I see consolidation. Now I'm also looking at the USD JPY as a possible pair for my trading plan, and I am looking to switch out some pairs because I don't have any USD based pairs in my trading plan. Doing my multi-frame analysis, I see that overall the market had been in a downtrend, but is currently trying to go upward. And then when I look at the 4-hour, I again see the downtrend, but then the market trying to reverse upwards. And then looking at my 1-hour chart, I see that there's been an uptrend, but that right now the market is in consolidation. And so now going to my 15-minute chart where I execute my trades, I see that the major trend has been an uptrend, but that we're currently in consolidation. There's flipping back over to the Euro JPY, I see that there hasn't been a lot of movement. The stochastic indicator, the stochastic oscillator is indicating an uptrend, a reversal back to the uptrend, but the stochastic is still at 20, so I wouldn't enter into the trade before the stochastic gets to 50, a minimum of 50. Now on the Australian New Zealand, looks like the market wants to reverse, but I don't have confirmation of the reversal back to an uptrend. So I would be looking for, we have the break above the 1.09627 line, but for confirmation, I want to see the stochastic at 50 and rising before I would enter into a buy. To enter into a sell, I'd need a break below the 0.9627 and the stochastic below 50. Now looking at the Australian JPY, the overall trend, the major trend has been an uptrend, but looks like tight consolidation. So at this point, I wouldn't enter into a trade on this chart. And the same here. For the British pound JPY. Looking at the USD JPY, I'd be looking for a trade setup. I'd be looking for a break above the 109.577 and stochastic above 50. Oops. Hate when I do that. looking for a sell, I'd be looking for the break below the 109,511 and stochastic below 40, below 50 and dropping. So on the Australian New Zealand 15-minute chart, I have the major trend as an uptrend, and now it looks like the current trend is now an uptrend. So we are above the 109,627 line, and we have the stochastic above 50. So I'm just looking for some candlestick movement in the positive upward direction, which we are beginning to get. My risk reward ratio is 1-to-1, and my pip value is going to be 20 cents per pip. So for the Euro JPY, again, my trade setup is looking for the break above the 129.234, and I see that the stochastic is above 50 and rising. So now check over here, and I see that the stochastic is also rising. Actually, So I am on the Euro JPY 15-minute chart, and my trade setup is the break below the 129.351 line, and once we have that breakthrough and the stochastic gets below 50 to confirm the downtrend, I will enter into a sell. And we have the breakthrough, and we're just looking at the stochastic to move downward. And looking at the 1 hour chart, we see that the market is moving downward, and the same with the 30-minute chart. And currently, the stochastic is at 61, and the intersection between the signal and the main indicates a trend reversal. So here on the USD JPY, I am looking for a break below the 109.612 in order to enter into a sell. And for confirmation, I'll look for the stochastic to fall below 50. I have the on here on the Euro JPY. I have the breakthrough of support at 129.351, but I don't have confirmation yet because the stochastic is still above 50. However, I do have market volume. Looks like I have volume going for me. So we are on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar 15-minute chart. My trade setup now is looking for a break below the 1.09562, at which point I would enter into a sell. The stochastic is below 50 and appears to be dropping. So that would be confirmation for me. I won't enter on this current candlestick because we've got 30 seconds to the next 15-minute period. But I see the downtrend, the down bearish candlesticks on both the 1 hour and the 30-minute charts. So, and that is carrying over here onto the 15-minute chart. So we have the breakthrough, and I am going to adjust my stop loss and take profit. So now I'm going to finish up the labeling of my charts. Breakthrough, support, num29.562. Stochastic at 45 and dropping. Indicating continued downtrend. The major trend is uptrend, and the current trend is downtrend. So I had a sell at 109.561. My take profit at 109.7. No, 109.470. And my stop loss at 1.0961. I'm going to adjust that so it can be for an even 10 pips. we're frozen. Again. Okay. So now I'm just going to move these around a bit. So that they can be seen easily. Okay, so now we'll have a print screen for this. And put that in my journal. So now here on the Euro JPY, for my trade setup, I am looking for a break below the 129,234 to continue the downtrend. Or if we're having a reversal, I'd be looking for a break above the 129,351 line. The stochastic indicator is showing a downtrend, and it is at 36, which is below the 50. So once I have the breakthrough, I would go on ahead and enter into the sell. Now, looking at my 1 hour, I see that that's also in the downtrend. The bears are trying to take over, and the same with the 30-minute chart. So I do feel confident that this will be a good trade setup for a sell. And truthfully, as a matter of fact, because we've already had the breakthrough of the 129,351, and we're still below the 50. So now looking at the British pound JPY, it looks like we're having a reversal to an uptrend. So for my trade setup, I'm going to be looking for a break above the 140.430 resistance line, and the stochastic, well, actually that's the 140.407. The stochastic was above 50, and it looks like it's approaching that again. So if I have that trade set up, I would enter into a buy or break below the 140.333 to enter into a sell. So for the British pound JPY, we have the break above the 140.430, and the stochastic is above 50. So because of that, I am going to enter into a buy. So I'm checking back on my Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar trade, and that is close to take profit. So I am actually going to move my stop loss up to protect the pips that I've already gained. The stochastic looks like it could go further. So I will move the take profit down a little further. Okay, well, it took me out already. Okay, so we are on the British pound JPY 15-minute chart, and we have had the break above the 140.430, and the stochastic is above 50. It's at 64 and rising. So because of that, and that's my trade setup to enter into a buy. So I enter into a buy, and I'm going to set my take profit at 10 pips above and set my stop loss at 10 pips below. And my take profit is right at the next line of resistance, and my stop loss is just above the next line of support. So let me put my arrow in to show where I got into the trade. And update my labels. We had a breakthrough resistance at 140.430, and the stochastic above 65, indicating continued uptrend, indicating an uptrend. And so because of that, we entered into a buy at 140.469, set our take profit at 140.569, and the stop loss at 140.369. Okay, so now let's print screen and put that one in my trade journal as well. Okay. So for my Australian dollar JPY 15-minute chart, my trade setup is a break above the 86952 line, and with confirmation from the stochastic, and if that occurs, I would enter into a buy. Otherwise, if I had to break below the 86.511 and confirmation of stochastic below 50, I would enter into a sell. So, well, the plan was to enter into a buy based on the current setup. Right now I'm not seeing a bullish candlestick. There it is. And stochastic at 64. Let me just look at my 30-minute and my 1 hour. Both of them are pointing up. So there's my buy and setting my take profit at 86.672 and my stop loss at 86.472. And now let's get my chart labeling in. Here's where I entered into the trade. The current trend is an uptrend. We had a breakthrough at resistance 86.552. And the stochastic was above, was at 65 and rising. And so because of that, I entered into a buy at 86.572 to take profit of 10 pips at 672 and a stop loss of 86.472. So let's do the print screen and add that to my stop